Hello and welcome to Old School Survival Skills Online. Today we are going to learn how to make pancakes. Now this is a great beginner recipe, and some of the things that we're going to learn during today's lesson are how to measure out ingredients, how to crack an egg, and how to cook your pancakes on a stovetop. So let's get started. You are going to need a few different ingredients. You're going to need flour, sugar, an egg, some salt, baking powder, vanilla, and some milk. You're also going to need 2 bowls. One's going to be for dry ingredients and one's going to be for wet ingredients. You're going to need a measuring cup, a teaspoon and a tablespoon, and a whisk. All right, we're going to get started by measuring out our dry ingredients. So the first thing we need to do is measure out 3/4 a cup of flour. My measuring cup has 3/4 marked on it. If yours doesn't, that's okay. You're just going to fill it up to a little bit more than half of a cup. So in between 1/2 and 1 cup is 3/4 of a cup. See how that looks. Okay, so that's a little bit too much. I'm gonna scoop some of it off with my tablespoon. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Another way to measure out ingredients is to weigh them. If you have a scale at home, a food scale is a great way to make sure you're getting exact measurements. All right, so this is just at that 3/4 of a cup marking. So we're gonna pour that in this bowl. Next, I need 1 tablespoon of sugar. All right, so I like to kind of gently shake off the top of the sugar so that we can get a nice flat, even measuring of sugar. So this is 1 tablespoon, and I'm going to add that to the flour. Next, I need 1/2 a tablespoon of baking powder. So I'm going to use this same tablespoon measuring tool that I used earlier, but I'm just going to do 1/2 instead of a whole one. So that's about 1/2. And then I'm going to get the salt, and I'm just gonna shake a little bit of salt into this flour mixture. A little goes a long way. All right, so those are all of our dry ingredients, and now we're gonna whisk them up. Now we're going to measure out our milk. We need 1/2 a cup of milk. So we're going to use the same measuring cup that I used earlier. And I'm going to pour my milk in. Just to that 1/2 cup marking. I'm going to pour this into the bowl. And then we're going to do 1/2 a tablespoon of vanilla. It's okay if there's a little too much. I love vanilla, so I like to have a little extra. And next we're gonna crack our egg. So I think that the best way to crack an egg is actually on a flat surface. Sometimes you see people hit it on the side of a bowl, but that can actually push the shell into the egg. And we don't want any shell in our egg. So I'm gonna crack it right on the tabletop like this. See how the egg's coming out now? So then we're gonna push our 2 thumbs really gently into that crack we just made and pull apart the shell. We're gonna pour that into the bowl. Make sure no shell came off with it. Then you're gonna go wash your hands off because you probably just got egg on your hands. All right, once you got your hands cleaned off, you're gonna whisk up those wet ingredients. Just for a few seconds. All right, now we're gonna grab our dry mix we made earlier. We're gonna pour our wet ingredients into it. And we're gonna mix this together until it's just slightly clumpy. We don't want it to be completely smooth. So you do want your pancake mix to be a little bit clumpy. You don't want there to be any big balls of dry flour floating around, but you don't want it to be completely smooth either. So this is actually a really good texture for pancake batter. And just like that, you've got your batter all ready. Next step is cooking. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add some butter to the skillet. That's kind of a lot. So there's kind of a joke that the first pancake is always bad. So don't put any pressure on yourself to have a perfect pancake the first time. All right, you're gonna get a spoon and you're gonna get some of your batter and you're gonna plop it down on the skillet. You don't want to do too much. And it's okay if your pancake's not perfectly round either. All right, and now you're gonna wait until it starts to bubble a little bit. All right, can you see these little bubbles starting to form and pop? That means that it's cooking through the middle, which is what we're looking for. We don't want any gooey centers. That is not very good in a pancake. So once we get a few more of those little bubbles, we can go ahead and flip it. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to flip it. Again, the first one, no expectations. Oh, looks pretty good. It's a little bit pale, so we might want to leave it a little bit longer. Another trick when cooking pancakes, if you don't notice any bubbles but you start to think it's been a while, if you see steam coming or smoke coming off of the skillet, that usually means it's starting to burn, so you might want to go ahead and flip it over. And that's what's happening now with mine, so I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. It might mean that I have the heat up too high. Yeah, see, it's a little bit darker than we want it to be ideally. But it still looks really good, and I'm still definitely gonna eat it. All right, we're gonna add some more butter for another pancake. I did turn the heat down a little bit this time, so hopefully my pancake doesn't burn quite so quickly. All right, so this time I'm gonna do a fun little experiment. Now that we kind of have it down, I'm gonna show you how you can add chocolate chips, or if you want, you can add nuts, or you can add blueberries to your pancakes. The best time to do that is actually right now. You can add chocolate chips when the first side is cooking before you flipped it over. So I'm just gonna add a few to mine because I love chocolate chips. And be careful not to burn your fingers. Don't get too close. All right. I'm gonna let that one cook a little bit longer. So I just flipped my pancake back over and look how good that chocolate chip pancake looks. These are turning out so well. I'm so excited. Okay, I think I have just enough batter left to do one more pancake. All right, we just finished our pancakes, and these are the fluffiest, most beautiful pancakes I've ever seen. They look amazing. I'm so excited to eat these, and I hope you guys try this recipe and let me know how it goes, okay? And don't forget to do the dishes.